the measurement for this one is 3.78 inches by 6.25 inches. So that is the measurement of the cover on one side. So for the signature, I'm going to do 3.75 inches by 6.15 inches, which I also show it here. You can pause it and take a look so you know the measurement. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. So first I'm gonna cut it. Today I'm going to Portland at least. I was gonna say at least. I'm going to Portland finally. It's been a long time since I had a vacation. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a short one. I will stay like 2 days in there tonight, and I'll come back on Sunday morning. And I'm leaving tonight. So roughly it's like 2 days. My friend is like, oh, only 1 day. I'm like, no, it's 2. Anyway, I hope I can see some cool stuff in Portland. Because I'm going to a gallery. I'm going to visit the Powell bookstore, I think that's the name. My husband really wanted to go there, so why not? Anyway, so this is the cover. Now I'm going to trim it a little bit, like some of those worn out edges. I'm going to trim that as well, because it's a broken book, it's a broken diary. Margaret's going to hate me to break her diary like this. Don't hate me. Anyway, I think it's only the corner here. Yeah, it's only the corner. Other than that, it's alright. And then I'm going to fold it from the binding, of course. So for the cover, I don't care about the photo or other stuff, but for the cover, I highly suggest you to use cardstock papers, because you're going to fold it. Oh, it's uneven actually. Well, I mean, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Let's see. So for the cover, I highly recommend you use cardstock paper, because you're going to journal in it. You're going to, do a lot of stuff in it. I hope you have a sturdy, strong cover. So at least please use a cardstock paper. So now I am going to do the same trick like I always do. Just ink, 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 ink. Make it look older, especially on the corner here. Just make sure it looks old. That's the only thing you need to make sure it looks. But if you don't like vintage, don't do it. Use other covers. Here is just, an example. You can create a 1920s kind of feeling kind of theme diary. But have you ever think about it, like maybe 100 years later or 200 years later, and when people do crafting, they will say, oh, back in the 21st century, people are using this and using that. They're using computer, and their computer look like this. Every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, this is so creepy. I don't want to be, I don't care. I really don't care. But yeah, it's kind of creepy. Okay, what I'm going to do, oh god, how can I forget the inside? The inner part. Yep, inside you need to ink it as well. But should I paint it? Maybe not. I'm not up to do any painting today because I'm going to Portland. I need to think about that. I need to worry about that. Although I packed my package already, my luggage, my backpack. We only have one backpack. So you might worry, oh, this looks so plain. This doesn't look vintage. Well, I'm going to show you or share with you. I don't know if it will succeed or not. I'm going to share with you how I cover it up. Not like cover it up, but decorate it. How I decorate it. So here is your, oh my god, I always like off frame. They're always off frame. Anyway, so here is the cover. Oh, it look like this. And then what I have is I have some printed marble paper in here. So this one is what you will get when you print it on the letter size paper, and I print them on the coffee dye paper. So you can see they're all coffee dye marking here at the back. Yeah. So this you can get a lot of digital marbling digital kits on Etsy or on the internet. I just picked this one because I think the colors goes really well with the with the cover. And Nick the Booksmith has tons of beautiful marble digital kit. So if you're looking for one, make sure you take a look of her Etsy shop. And I am going, so I went and did it already for this one. So this is one of the marble printout, and I cut it in the size to fit in this notebook, which I think is 3.75 by 6.15 inches. So yeah, we go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up, not cover it up. How many times I need to tell you? Not cover it up, but I'm going to just glue it down in here. Glue it down in here, so you won't see the cream backgrounds over. And then I'm going to use this one to cover the back of it. So yeah, but first, because I need to glue it with another page, so next what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to tuck in the signature first. So this is my signature, but because the back is slightly bigger, so should I trim it smaller first? And then, because when I make this paper, it will be bigger. It will be bigger. It will just be longer. It won't be taller, so it wouldn't mind. Okay, anyway, I'm just talking to myself. I'm so sorry. So I prepared a little insert, a little signature here. Instead of tea dye paper, I also include some botanical pages, vintage book pages about birds. Margaret likes birds. And then more tea dye paper. And this is some telephone names and addresses pages. And this is like to-do list, urgent, you can see. And then another coffee dye paper. So this is the back. It's really simple. I am not trying to create a really complicated diary here. So here's my O. I'm not so sure how to pronounce it, but this is the thing that punch the hole. And I have, of course, I have my needle and some thread, string, or twine, whatever you feel like to use. Go ahead with it. I realized after I'm making journals for a while now, I realized when you create a journal, you just need to go ahead. follow your heart. Like seriously, I'm being cheesy, but I really mean it. When you create something, don't hesitate. Maybe you can think about it. I always overthink. Oh, does it fit in here? I even did a little draft on the other day for this project. So basically, I kind of know which goes where. But I also want to just follow my heart. It's really hard for me because I want everything to be like perfect. I know there's no perfection, but I just can't help myself. Anyways, I'm just gonna like eyeball it, you know. It's my life, eyeballing stuff. And I found it, yay! Okay, make sure you go through all the way. And then you're gonna eyeball the other one. And then go to the bottom. Go to the bottom. I'm kinda hungry though. I just woke up. I told you at the beginning it was like 8:30. I think now it's like 10. No kidding. 9 something. But anyway, I'm going to pick up my thread and needle. And I'm going to sew. Maybe I can use both. I don't know. One is enough. I'm going to start with the center hole from outside actually. From outside to the inside. And then leave. You are going to leave around like, don't know how, you're going to leave around like 5 inches, maybe 5 inches. And then I'm going to the top. Okay, now I am going to the bottom one. So from the center to the top and going back to the bottom. Then you're gonna make sure they don't tangle together. And then you're going back to the center. In this case, you have a little binding. So the thread that I'm using, or the twine that I'm using, is actually a book binding twine. It's really strong and really sturdy. So make sure it's nice and sturdy. You can like play around it, push a little bit. I don't think you need to like overdo it, but just make sure it's nice and strong. And then you are going to tie a knot. Actually tie 2 knots, but first you need to tie a little one. Make sure it's nice. And I'm going to tie the second one. Okay, and then you can cut. Depends on how long you want for your binding. I want like this much. So this is your little book with a signature. It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy. You can use staplers, you can use other thread, other kind of thread, you can use other sewing methods. It's totally up to you. You can tuck in how many pages as you want. The reason why I want to include the binding is because maybe you can make a book out of it. You can make a book, an actual book, you know, with a really thick binding. But in this one, I'm just going to make one signature. So this is that. Now I'm going to glue my marble paper first on this side, and then I'm going to glue a little bit on the edge right here, which you will have, you know, a really nice marble paper here. And the glue I'm using is the fabric tech. Yeah. Anyway. And I need a new one very soon. It's kind of like pricey though. Maybe when I go to Portland today, I can buy some glue finally. I think it's cheaper in the States, but I'm not so sure though. Make sure you include the binding as well, because you're gonna cover that later. Don't make it a ton, because the coffee dye paper, I don't know, I don't want to rip it or make it like too long to dry or something. But make sure you cover all the, you're going to cover all the spaces. Just make it a little bit more stronger. And then I'm going to glue it down like this. Make sure it's nice right on the center. Everything is on the right position. Okay. So, like this. Give it a good massage. Give it a good massage, especially on the edge. And this and this. Actually, my printer is kind of suck. It'll always leave those marks, those ink marks. I was gonna like print it again or whatever, but I think, oh well, you know, it's just vintage stuff. It look vintage too, like it's damaged or something like that. So I leave it there. And then for the binding here, I want, actually, do I need to? Yeah, I do want to glue it a little bit. Sometimes my glue does this little thing. I don't know what it is. Can you see? And it's so, I don't know. Ew. I don't know what's going on with my glue, but sometimes it's just not behaving as I hope. But it's okay. I have patience. I hope. Okay, I'm going to just a tiny bit. Just include it a little tiny bit, so it doesn't look like, you know, it's an extra paper. I'm gonna, okay. Just a little tiny bit on the binding. Okay. Give it a, like 1 sec. Give it a couple minutes to settle. Ugh, I'm always out of frame. Settle down. Okay, I think it's okay. This glue is pretty strong, so you will have something like this, you know, but I will just wait until I can actually fold it. Actually, I can fold it now, but I don't want to. Okay, just give it a little fold, little teeny tiny fold. Okay, so yeah, you have a really cool cover paper, and then when you open it up, it's kind of like smaller than the usual one, but I don't really mind. And then I'm going to do the back one. Oh, the glue is kind of like going through this way. So because this one, like I said, thank God I kept this. I didn't trim this one because I was going to show you, okay, the original size is like this, and then you can trim it down. Otherwise, I would just trim it as the size that was shown in here. But this one actually is a little bit wider, the cover, so I'm going to measure it first. Grab my ruler. Then seems what I need is 3.85. So for this one, actually it's 3.85. But I think the tall is the same. Yeah, it's also 15. Maybe it's not. I would like to do this and covered to here. So is 25. Yeah, it's 15. It's 15. No, it's not. It's like 25. Oh well, it's better to go a little bit over because you can still have the chance to trim it down. But if you go too small, the only way that you go around it is print it again. So I would like to make it a little bit bigger just in case. But if it's bigger, I can trim it again. So what I'm going for this time is 3.85 inches by 6.25 inches. I'm going to use my 6.25. Okay, I'm back with the marble after I trim it, and I'm going to glue one side, and let's take a look. And I want it to look a little bit different from the cover, so I chose another part in this marble paper which looks different from the cover. So you can do the same, or follow your heart. Okay, I think this one is a little bit still too wide, as you can see. I'm gonna trim it just like a tiny bit. Tiny little bit. Okay, let's see this time. Let's see. I think the tall is perfect, and it's perfect on the side. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the glue again in case I was out of frame. So this time I'm gonna make sure I'm in the frame. Okay, and now you're going to put glue on the little cover. Make sure the edge is all taken care of. Okay. Then I'm going to put it. Oh my god, I'm too scared. There's nothing to scare about. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Oh, no, it's too. Oh, no. See, not always follow your heart. To move it to the center a little bit, and then I'm gonna. You're going to put it right in the center. Make sure it's the center. I mean, you can put it anywhere, but yeah, I'd rather put it in the center. That's me. Okay, and you're going to give it a good massage again. So that's it. And then you're gonna press it a little bit. Just press it down. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to cover the binding here a little bit. This time I'm gonna just put the glue on the binding. That's it. Because the glue can spread a little bit by itself, so I think it's better to let it just, explore. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. It's not dry yet, what I'm doing. Okay, just close it. Just close it. Oh, my needle. I better put it somewhere else. I don't want to get hurt. Okay. Gonna press it a little bit. So now I'm just going to drink my milk tea. Just wait a little bit.